In case you missed it, headlines started buzzing again. New developments surface in Tupac's murder case. Rappers like Snoop Dogg, Suge Knight, and even Diddy might soon face arrest for questioning. Fans are now pointing fingers at Snoop Dogg, claiming he's tied to Tupac's death after some shocking new evidence came out. It all starts with this resurfaced interview that's got the Fed side-eyeing Snoop. Turns out, this is the first time it's been said out loud that Snoop was originally supposed to ride in the BMW with Tupac and Suge Knight.
Tupac, though, in regards to Tupac, I heard a story, did you give him different advice that night on where to go?
I didn't give him no advice.
Right.
We wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Right.
So.
Saying during the Tyson.
Yeah, this incident that I'm explaining to you right now was the day before that.
Okay.
So when they got to Vegas, they went their way, I went back. I mean, when we got to LA, they went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car with them.
As Snoop Dogg mentioned,
Snoop reveals he was supposed to be in the car with Tupac, but last-minute plans changed and he didn't go. Most think this sudden switch had to do with some serious tension between Snoop, Tupac, and Suge just the day before.
Last time me and Tupac was on the same page, and I did an interview with Angie Martinez, and she asked me how did I feel about Puffy and Biggie, and I told her that I like their music and I want to do music with them. Bro didn't like that, Tupac didn't like that, so we had a misunderstanding. So on the flight back to LA, I didn't feel comfortable around them for what they had did, as far as I didn't let my security ride with me. So to protect myself and to prevent from happening, I slept under a blanket with the knife and the fork just in case something was to go wrong.
All this happening within just 48 hours of Tupac's murder has cops digging deeper. Back in the 90s, Snoop was locked into the streets. Many believe he got wind of something, a warning that Tupac was a target, and that's why he backed out of riding in that car. Then another old interview surfaced where Snoop says Tupac basically hated him just 2 days before the shooting.
A week before we was best of friends. 2 days before I don't think he liked me.
Why?
Because we was in New York.
Oh yeah.
And it happened. New York, they shot at me and did all kind of shit to me, like just the worst you could think of. And I forgave him. And went and did an interview and was asked, how do I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I was like, I like it. I want to do some music with him. And I just rubbed Cuz the wrong way, like tried to me out at you, and you talking about you want to do a song with him. I wasn't thinking about his emotions. I was thinking about the way I felt at the time. I wasn't into no controversy. I liked his music. They was our friends. We was all friends at one point. This video footage of all of us hanging out.
The internet went into full meltdown mode. Reddit threads exploded with theories. One viral post claimed Snoop got info that Tupac might have been working with the feds. An old interview even featured a cop saying Tupac was planted in the industry to squash the war between red and blue sets.
Turns out when I talked to Tupac's longtime mentor, political mentor, former Black Panther Chokwe Lumumba, who was his first business manager, he's told me, I basically asked, well, was Tupac only pretending to be in order to appeal to gangs and politicize them? And he said yes, and that was part of his thug life agenda that he came up with his imprisoned stepfather Mutulu Shakur. And so Tupac was just using that in order to get the and the leaders to call peace truces, first in Los Angeles, then throughout California, and then throughout the country. And that was why he was pretending to be this type. And really, he was just an intellectual prodigy.
With the plan,
clearly that plan didn't work, and then Tupac ends up dead. But if Snoop really got tipped off about Pac being a Fed, it would explain why he wanted no part of that Vegas trip. But here's where it gets even wilder. That same Reddit thread suggested Tupac might still be alive. It pointed to a 2010 interview with rapper Trey, a close friend of Tupac's. They made music, hung out, everything. But after the interview ended, the cameraman forgot to stop recording. The camera was left rolling on the floor, and in the background you hear Trey say, "Last time I saw him, he was in Cuba."
Ready for it? Get on the sidewalk.
One last question. Nobody knows. Y'all good? Yeah, we good. Thanks a lot, man.
Last time I saw him, he was in church.
then only 3 weeks.
Then just 3 weeks later, a video popped up on a random news site, allegedly showing Tupac chilling in a Cuban parking lot. The voice in the footage says, "Zoom in. Zoom in. That's him, man. That's outlaw. He even tried to grab an autograph. Holla back exclusive, baby." This moment sparked the infamous Tupac is alive in Cuba theory, and in 2025, it doesn't seem like just a theory anymore. Even Suge Knight has been saying for years that Tupac is still alive.
That's Pac, man. He was the outlaw. And Reg from Holla Back is trying to be friendly and get autographs. Holla Back exclusive, baby. Holla Back.
In one of Suge's most convincing interviews, he said Tupac was perfectly fine in the hospital right before his death. Quote, "When I left the hospital, me and Tupac were laughing and joking. I don't see how someone goes from doing well to doing bad."
Seriously think that he might still be alive.
I'm saying this, Pac, you never know.
But here's what doesn't sit right. Police reports claim Tupac was in a coma the moment he arrived at the hospital and never woke up. So how was he laughing and joking with Suge? The math ain't mathing. But Suge doubled down in a 2008 interview 10 years later, still claiming Tupac was alive and well.
He was conscious on the way to the hospital.
He was conscious on the way to the hospital. He was conscious in the ambulance. He was conscious after they did the surgery.
What was the last thing that he said to you?
They left.
So why'd Suge stop talking about it? Well, shortly after that 2008 interview, he was nearly killed at a nightclub. Someone fired 6 shots his way, and Suge instantly connected the dots. It was because he spoke out. He refused to snitch. But then his son Suge Jr. made the same mistake. In 2018, he hopped on Instagram and straight up said Tupac was living in Malaysia. Right after that, Suge Jr. posted a suspicious text. "You've said too much. It's time for you to go." He then shared photos of Tupac with modern-day celebs like 50 Cent and Beyonce. One post even read, "He never left us, but they'll be after me soon." Some say it was just clout chasing, but others believe Suge Jr. might know more than anyone alive. After all, his dad was right there when it all went down. And if you dig into those police files from Tupac's murder, the whole showing it starts on September 7, 1996. Tupac was in Vegas with Suge Knight, the CEO of Death Row Records. The two were headed to the MGM Grand for a Mike Tyson fight. And after it ended, they spotted an op in the hotel lobby.
Knight and their entourage went to the Mike Tyson, the MGM Grand. Keefe D and his nephew, Orlando Lane Anderson, and 2 of their friends were also there. Keefe D told LAPD Detective Greg Kading more than a decade ago, in a proffer that couldn't be used against him, the shooting was retaliation after Tupac jumped Orlando and him up at the casino. Surveillance cameras recorded the fight. Tupac was angry that Lane had stolen his necklace years prior in Compton. Tupac, Suge Knight, and the entourage left the casino quickly.
Security eventually stepped in and broke up the fight between Suge, Tupac, and their ops. This led to both Suge and Tupac heading back to their hotel to change outfits before heading out to Club 662 to party. But as they cruised down the Las Vegas Strip around 11 p.m., everything took a deadly turn. The shooters already knew about Tupac's scheduled appearance at the club that night. Orlando Anderson and Keefe D, riding in a white Cadillac, were said to be driving up and down the Strip, hunting for Tupac's crew. They finally spotted them at the intersection of East Flamingo and Covell. The Cadillac rolled up right next to the black BMW, Suge behind the wheel, Tupac in the passenger seat. Then, shots rang out. Tupac was hit twice in the chest, once in the arm and once in the thigh. For over 20 years, this incident remained a mystery. Until 2025, when the case was officially reopened. What the investigation revealed was chilling, starting with an interview Keefe D gave on DJ Vlad's show, where he explains exactly how they rolled up on Tupac.
Was a driver, and Baby Lane and Freaky were in the back seat.
We was just all in the car together. Just say that.
This was the white Cadillac.
Yeah.
So you guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, "Tupac, Tupac."
Got to the light. We was gonna go drink, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He was hanging out the window like he was in a parade.
Tupac.
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next? You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat.
Keefe D said they fired at Tupac first because he was reaching for a weapon while stuck at the red light, meaning Tupac saw it coming before it happened.
Said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, and you said that Tupac pulled out a...
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually...
No, once he got the reaching, I got the ducking.
So, someone from your car...
That's what happened.
...started at Tupac and Suge.
Sadly, Tupac realized the setup but wasn't quick enough to react. Later, Keefe D shared footage from a police interrogation the night of the shooting, confirming he was present during the hit.
You say Suge looks over, he sees you?
Yeah.
He looks right at you?
Yeah, he looked at me.
Okay. when he looks over at you, and then, you know, Tupac's busy getting evidently, the story is Tupac's trying to either get out of the line.
back seat or something.
Yeah, what do you see happening inside of their car?
I seen him going Suge head. I thought he was.
So Orlando across Dre?
He leaned over on the window. We rolled down the window.
As the police dug deeper, they came across footage showing Keefe D's emotional reaction to Tupac's death, giving a glimpse of his true feelings.
I hate that happened, dog. You know, I really do, man. Cause it fucked up a lot of people's lives, dude. Hate that happen. Probably to God. I feel that was wrong, man. It was just wrong, purely wrong. You know what I'm saying? I wish it never happened. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion on it. It never happened, dude.
And now with the case back open in 2025 during one of the biggest rap trials ever. The Diddy trial, even more shocking information came out. Headlines blasted. Diddy under fire for alleged link to Tupac's murder after being named 77 times in a new legal filing. During this trial, Diddy's alleged involvement went viral. The documents claim a former LAPD officer accused Diddy of putting $1 million hit on Tupac in response. Suge allegedly orchestrated Biggie's murder. When police arrested Keefe D, his interrogation statement was reportedly used in court, introduced for the first time during Diddy's trial.
All four of those occasions, they're San Diego, Anaheim, Irvine, and Vegas. Which ones do you actually talk to Puffy at?
Every one.
Every one of them. Which of those four is it when you talk to him about murdering Tupac?
It was really about both of them. Either one. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah,
This would then be followed up.
Soon after, clips began resurfacing of people confronting Diddy directly about Tupac, including a super uncomfortable moment on The Breakfast Club.
This documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we not even going to go there, with all due respect, but I appreciate you as a journalist asking. Thank you.
Because you listen, 7 years ago, I'd have been like, yo, did you hire somebody? But no, you do it like a journalist.
Yeah, no, I mean, we wouldn't even get into nonsense like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense.
Which we never believed, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
This would end.
It wasn't long before the story exploded across headlines. Even 50 Cent jumped into the drama, posting online that he doesn't mess with Diddy because, in his words, Diddy had Tupac gone.